Good morning, everyone in class. Good morning, professor. Today, I want to talk one topic that relates to informative speech. So, right now, we will begin the presentation to explore what topic I choose to talk to you today. So, do you know that half of the people in the world watch the singles sport event? You may think about the Super Bowl or Olympic game, but it's not the topic that I want to talk today. The famous sport event I want to discuss today is FIFA World Cup. I will give you the information of this tournament, how it works, why it is so popular, because 2026 World Cup now are happening in the North America. So this information will give you the background knowledge that you will understand what everyone saying about this tournament. For easy follow, I divide my presentation into three parts. First part is World Cup format. Second part is the history of the World Cup. And the last part is the impact of the World Cup to the hosting country in the world. So we will move to the first part, the World Cup format. In this part, I will turn to you how this tournament works, how many states that World Cup divide into for choose the best soccer team in the world. First state we can call qualifying round or qualification state. Each continent will hold its own qualifying round to choose the best team to participate in the World Cup. There are 206 nation teams trying to get into this tournament, and this qualifying round occurs about 2 or 3 years to finish. And after the qualification stage, we will move to the group stage, a report of the numerical study of tournament structure and seeding policy for the Soccer World Cup final were conducted by Strack and Usopp, have mentioned that the group stage has 48 teams and divided into 12 groups, and each nation team will face will play 3 matches with another team in the same group. The winner will earn 3 points, and the loser will get no point. If the match is drawn, 1 point is given to the both team. And after all matches finish, the first place and second place team will automatically advance into knockout phase. That is the last stage in the World Cup. And also that the best 8 third place also qualified. But the 4th place team will be elimination and goes home. So we will move to the last stage. We can call it the knockout phase. It had 32 teams and divided into 4 brackets. You can imagine that it's similar to the March Madness of the basketball. And in this round, the first team will face with the third team, and the second place team, will face with another second place team. And in this round, they don't have the second chance, because if they lose, they will go home. So they must win by all means. So we will do the second part I will give you the background of the history of the World Cup for you to understand more about this tournament. So there are some interesting facts about history of this tournament. That Brazil is the country that have the most trophy. They have five trophies in the World Cup. And Mexico is the country that's hosting the World Cup most time. And the total price of the World Cup is estimated about $440 million, and winner can receive $42 million. And the number of teams in World Cup now is 48. They will play total about 104 games. Okay, as you see in early years, the World Cup just initially hosted predominantly by the European and the South American nation, and it's reflecting the early center of the global soccer power. But from the 1974 to present, the World Cup had the global expansion. It had reaching all the continents. So the tournament had evolved and expanding to new continent, engaging into diverse culture and uniting the entire world to the share of the passion of soccer. So as you can see, the first World Cup in 1930 was held by the Uruguay with only 30 nations. It is a small number of teams. And over the year, the World Cup continued to grow. But the biggest change has occurred in 1982, when the FIFA World Cup had expanded from 16 nations to 24 nations. This is many teams had participating to this tournament. And later that in 1998, the World Cup has 32 nations participating. And for now, FIFA World Cup had decided to make the historic change. The World Cup has expanded into 48 nations. This is the biggest World Cup in the history. Okay, beside the history, the long history, the World Cup has applied many the instrument to have the much fairer and more accurate. So the first instrument is VAR, is the camera view that have the referee can review the decision about the handball and the offside, the serious foul and penalty kick. And the second technology they have introduced into this tournament is goal line. This technology will determine that whether the ball crossed the goal line to decide the goal when it in the situation that difficult for the referee to make a judgment. And then we will move to the last part of the presentation, is the impact of the World Cup into the world and in the hosting country. The most important thing that World Cup has bring is the economic benefits. According to economic impact of hosting World Cup had conducted by Ismail Zeda, had mentioned that the World Cup hosted in 2006 had generated in €2.2 billion for the economy, and in the World Cup 2026 is projected to generate over $5 billion. And the report of the impact of World Cup of Organization on country economy role, the case of Qatar economy, OZSU and Mustafa has said that they have estimated profit in the World Cup 2014 is about $2.5 billion. And in the report of Fed in 2020, it spread from the economy impact of hosting the World Cup. The GDP per capita of the hosting country increased by 1.2 per state boards. And they also impact in other fields like the hotel. The room rate in the Gauteng rose by 185% during the 2010 in South Africa, and the tourists, 90 of surveyed U.S. students remain interested in visiting South Africa. And in infrastructure, Qatar has spent approximately $200 million preparing for the World Cup in the airport, road, rail system. And World Cup had bring the connecting fans and creating a new concert in the U.S. The late night saw like Jay Leno and David Letterman start to feature in the U.S. team. And the U.S. versus Germany game brought in 3.77 million households on ESPN. And the World Cup rating 1.4 was similar to NSL Cup, about the rating 1.5 point. Besides the many benefits that I had mentioned before, they also have the last benefit. This will accelerate the construction of the modern training center and the founding of new soccer club. An example, I can give you that the Major League Soccer had attracted many in the U.S. had attracted many famous players like Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, and Thomas Muller, so on. And many still new stadiums are built in the U.S. like the Freedom Miami Park, and the Toyota Stadium, and so on. Many things. So I have one word for you to convey to you from the King of Soccer, Pelé. The World Cup is very complicated tournament. 6 bad minutes can knock you out. But it is also a place where small nation can look giant nation in the eye and beat them. That is the true beauty of this cup. So, in conclusion, that FIFA World Cup is the biggest show on the earth with exciting format, a long history, the massive global impact. The rule as a symbol, qualify, survive the group, and win the knockout. And the event evolved from the small game to the giant global event. And finally, it connects the different culture and help the local economic growth. So the next time when you're walking and you see someone wear the colorful soccer jersey in the campus of the Valencia College or out of a sport bar in Orlando, you will know exactly what our assignment is about. So the reference slide If you want to know more detail of the World Cup, you can read the title of the book or the report that have shown in this slide to get more information in the internet. So, thank you for listening. I hope you will have the greatest World Cup season and hope you have the best time with your family. So have a good day, everyone. Thank you for listening.